Hello, welcome to Soulprint Intuitive Tarot. Thank you very, very much for being here. So you're going to be seeing this video on March 13th. If this is the first video that I've released for today that you've seen, you might be interested in knowing that there was a video released about an hour earlier than I released this one called The Queen of Canada. It's a really interesting look at this woman who is a very, very powerful force within QAnon. And she has taken up residence in a little tiny town in Saskatchewan. And it's not a good situation. And she, honestly, her rhetoric is so strong and so dangerous. She actually makes Trump look reasonable. Okay. So if you are interested in that, take a peek. It's called Queen of Canada, because that's who she thinks she is and what she thinks she is. Alrighty. So, but for right now, kind of going from the sublime to the ridiculous, I want to take a look at Trump and his money. So last week, at the end of the week, he managed to post that $90.1 million bond pertaining to the E.G. Carroll case, the bond that he had to cover if he wanted to appeal, which of course he does because he wants to appeal like every dang thing. Now, on the 25th of March, that's when the one for like 250 or 450 is due. So that's, I don't know, somewhere around like $500 million bond, $500 million. So that's like a lot of money. So it'll be interesting to see if he has the wherewithal to post that one. And in some ways, that's, I would think, the bigger one, the more important one to him, because it went after him and his business. It talked about how rich he was not. And for sure, it's a huge, huge fine, far bigger than the other one. But let's see, he also apparently at a rally on the weekend once again was defaming E.G. Carroll. It wouldn't surprise me to see him back in court on another defamation suit filed by her and her lawyers, because he just can't be quiet. And they showed a part of what he was saying, and it's like all lies. Every single word that came out of his mouth, was a lie. I don't know who she is. I don't know why she did this. Like that. Please. You have been convicted of sexual assault. Let's think about that for a moment. I'm pretty sure you know who she is. Here we go. Take a look at Trump and his money, shall we? Great. Get cracking here. Trump and his money, Trump and his money, Trump and his money. He also now has installed his daughter-in-law, Laura, into the RNC. And she has made it like abundantly clear that her mission is to take all the money that comes in and funnel it to Trump's legal bills. That she's not even being subtle about it. She's just flat out saying that's what we're going to do. And so I guess that's what they're going to do. And all those other people who were expecting some financial support, all the other people running who were expecting some financial support from the RNC, well, probably are not going to get it. But all right, here we go. We're starting off with the Seven of Swords. So this really is about him, trying to get away with, right? The way he is handling all of his legal affairs is to peel. And I don't think he truly believes that he's going to win all of those appeals. But what he does truly believe, and he's not wrong, is that they create delay. And he is convinced that if he delays long enough, he is going to become the president of the United States again. And then he can make his fondest wish come true, which is to be seen as affluent and rich and et cetera, et cetera. So he wants, I mean, we know this, right? He wants to be elected president because he wants to put a kibosh on every single legal case there is. He wants to, get his Justice Department, who he has made no bones about saying he will weaponize against all of his enemies, to go after all of the results of any of the lawsuits and sort of nullify them. And you know what? I mean, I know that the lawsuits in New York are civil, and he can't do anything about it. Except, remember, he didn't have any trouble interfering in New York legal circles. I can't remember. It could have even been about the hush money one, where he found the right people to apply enough force so that whole thing kind of got taken off the table for a while. Okay, it's going back on, and that trial starts on the 25th, which ironically is, of course, the same day that he has to come up with this $500 million so that he can file an appeal in that New York money case. So, he still has an incredibly romanticized version of who he is, what he is, how rich he is. This is the thing about him, I think, that is in some ways like almost more concerning than a lot of other crazy things about him, is that his mental cognitive abilities seem to be diminishing. And so these sort of fantasies that he produces in his mind are becoming like more and more real to him. And he really does believe he has all this money, and he really does believe that he can just, circumvent the law, and that he can create whatever money he feels is necessary for him to have and do with it what he wants. This is, in some ways, that's one of the more concerning things, because initially we were pretty sure that he actually understood that what he was doing was maybe not going to work for him so well. But now he seems to believe. He believes the stories. He believes he's immune from everything. He believes that he cannot pay these massive, massive fines because he just shouldn't have to. There is a sense of like recklessness with his lawyers, right? They are doing whatever he says. They're filing whatever he says. I think I spoke about it at some point, that his lawyers, the things that they're submitting to the court are almost like rally speeches, right? They're just a litany of all the ways in which Trump has been hard done by and how everything isn't fair for him. And his lawyers are literally trapped in this place where even if they know better, they don't seem to be able to encourage him to actually adhere to or follow with, kind of laws and regulations and stuff. And so they are submitting all of this stuff to the courts. And then there's this big brouhaha when it doesn't get accepted, right? When the court rejects it, because they're not even filed properly. So the lawyers are kind of in a place where they don't have a lot of wiggle room because he is just blindly rushing forward to create the reality that he wants. And his reality, Hangman, is literally to delay and delay and delay. And he doesn't see things clearly anymore. I mean, I just don't know how else to say that. Here he is, as King of Pentacles. He he's repeated his press so often that he now actually believes it. And that's concerning, because when he believes things, even when he doesn't, he has a powerful, powerful hold on the people who go to his rallies, who believe every deranged thing that comes out of his mouth. So he feels he has been hard done by and picked on. And so all of his followers feel exactly the same way. And what they fail to understand is, with him, he will welcome you under the tent. He will make you feel like you are something really special. But all he ever wants, is to separate you from your money. He plays on their emotions to get the money he wants. And it's correct. He doesn't care if he bankrupts them. He truly doesn't. He doesn't care if he bankrupts the RNC. He doesn't care, as long as he can figure out how to keep on, getting that money to him, because he's at a place right now where he's really having to juggle. Things are not as financially fluid as he would like. And he's being rejected. People are walking away from him who he actually maybe thought he could count on. Now, this is lovely, but I'm trying to find out something very specific here. So I'm just going to put my little cards away, because I want to just do some channeling, because I want to know, which is what I think all of us want to know. One, does he find the 500 million? And two, where's it coming from? Spirit, can we please get some clarity on that? Is Trump actually going to be able to post that 500, whatever it is, $1 million bond, so that he can appeal the New York City ruling against him, his sons, Weisselberg, and the Trump Corporation, or whatever it's called? Is he going to be able to, is that money is he going to have it to post? Is that bond going to get posted? And yes, I'm getting a yes, he is. Yes, he will. And where's the money coming from? What I'm being told is, it is a gift, not even a loan. It is a gift from outside of the country. It's going to somehow be funneled into and through a United States business, a recognized bond agency. I'm not sure, but the money's going to be funneled through, so it looks like it comes from American shores. It's a gift. They just keep telling me it's a gift. It's a gift. this gift is coming because rulers and leaders from other countries are very aware of his diminishing capacity, which means he's going to be even easier to manipulate than he was before. And certainly for someone like Putin, creating that continual division and distraction and kind of the crazy is paramount to his plan, because his plan is to divide and conquer basically a democracy and destroy it, and Trump is playing right into his hands. It's interesting because they're telling me that when Viktor Orban was visiting him at Mar-a-Lago, he has or will have conversations with others like him, and he will report on Trump's intellectual acuity, his mental state, and it feels as if that's part one of the money, part two, being released and making its way to him. I don't believe, as I'm recording this, that money has been set in concrete, but definitely it has. It's been talked about, it's in the works, and it very much feels like there is sort of this final, insight that Victor is going to have as a result of his little visit at Mar-a-Lago with Trump. So, okay. So he's going to appeal. I guess the I Ching Carroll one, it must go to an appeals court. They're saying it's not gonna fly. It's not gonna win it. I'm not even sure if they're gonna take it up. And they're saying it's not gonna get to, I don't know, do civil cases go to the Supreme Court? If so, it's not going to get there before the election. And as far as the New York City Trump Company et al. Lawsuit, he's going to file appeal in both cases. And the thing is that both appeals are the documents that they give to the judge so that they can justify it, again, are going to be kind of raving rants about how Trump isn't being treated fairly, and how everyone's out to get him and like that. So they're not going to actually present any sort of a solid case about why the thing should actually be appealed, right? It's going to be the judge hates me, the lawyer's crooked. It's that kind of craziness. Everybody's out to get me because I'm remarkably special, and I have been sent by God. Okay, so it's going to be that kind of insanity. So I'm not sure where these things are going to go, but he's going to appeal, and he's going to have the funds in place that are going to allow him to do that. But it just feels as if in both cases, it doesn't have longevity. It feels like in both cases, it's not going anywhere. So that will be interesting to see how that unfolds. Right now, if we kind of just want to focus in on how Trump is feeling about his own personal finances, his own that situation, and he is just perpetually on the lookout for the next grift, the next sneaker or trading card or stake or whatever the heck. He is just perpetually on the lookout for the next one, the next one, the next one, because he recognizes that his base will just keep on sending him money that, frankly, they really don't have to spare by and large. There's a lot of dark money in there that they got way more than enough to spare. I mean, the Heritage Fund, et cetera, right? But his actual small time donors, I mean, they're getting tapped. He they're saying there's a lot of debt. There's a lot of past due bills. There's a lot that hasn't been paid yet. And kind of in part because his lawyers have gotten very, very clever, after the Rudy Giuliani example, have gotten very, very clever about ensuring that their payments are coming in. And he's not able to sort of stiff them. And he bemoans the fact that these lawyers have to be paid. I mean, he really feels like they didn't win the case. Therefore, he shouldn't have to pay them. They didn't do what he hired them to do and accomplish. And that is his mindset. I hired you to get me out of this. You didn't get me out of it. There's no reason why I should pay you. But because the lawyers have sort of made it impossible for him not to, they're getting paid. And that just agitates him. It aggravates him because he's thinking, I could have that money in my pocket right now. It feels like the RNC, no, not the RNC, but the sort of members are going to start kicking up a fuss about all the legal bills that are getting paid on his behalf. It's not going to get them anywhere. That money is just going to keep on flowing straight into the Trump coffers or straight into the legal bill coffers, because that's the play. That's what's going on now. That's what they want to go on. That's it. That's all. That's what I know. All right. So thank you very, very much for being here. As I said, if you have not yet come across the Queen of Canada video, you might want to take a peek at it. And I will see you tomorrow. Until then, take care and be well. Bye-bye.